emphasize differentiation of height and borders and intermingling of grasses and forbs. The roundness of the space was a point that we wanted to emphasize. And then really there were 3 large trees that border the site that we thought were really important to make sure that there were views maintained of those. There was a pin-up to the right of the path, and then across from that at Walnut, and there's also flowers. And then up here, I'll just point to this one because it's up. There's a little path right here that comes out from the woodland, so creating a focal point from that sort of secret woodland area, and then dividing the spaces so that it's so massive to a homeowner. We felt like we needed to break it down farther so it's comprehensible and something they can use in their yard. And there's 2 schemes that we're using.
We had 2 different lines of thought as far as how we could approach this area. One of them was kind of creating concentric circles out from the pin-up that is up here. So actually, first and foremost, moving this bench from out of the full sun into the shaded area under the tree and letting that shade, letting the tree be the backdrop to that. Pat mentioned that he'd like to extend the woodland piece here. And so we talked about taking that and making that the backdrop behind the pin-up tree. And then everything focuses kind of this direction. So keeping your concrete path here, and then actually taking this path that you have for the bench now and making that into an interpretive signage area so that you can put some signage there without adding any additional surfaces. But as you'll see, we have a central path right through the center. It's more of a larger path, and we would still keep the outer path that would be probably a little bit smaller, but it would still allow us to have full access to the site, whether you want to go all the way to the back where it's already shaded or stay more in the middle. Basically working to more of a short grass area here and then working to taller plants in the back. But another thing to keep in mind is we also talked about maybe having some sort of a bermed area here so that the path is, instead of just being flat and coming through the area, you're actually coming up a little bit and then coming back down. Gives you a different perspective behind it. In the back area here, we talked about adding some more trees and shrubs, filling in this area here, but also putting some benches along here so that you have the shade to make that function. And then as far as seating, you were talking about here about using large stones and creating kind of a circular pattern. So this whole thing keeps going in concentric circles as you work out. That is one concept that we had.
This the other one?
No, this is the other one. No, we couldn't make up our minds where we want to go with this. So the other idea is to basically take, we realize we've got a shade issue over on this side, so we're trying to break it up a little bit differently. Still keeping a path going through the middle so we have access through there. Having again a kind of high spot on that path. But instead of trying to deal with the circles and trying to figure out how we're going to create the different vegetative beds, actually using our path to break it, having more of our shade garden through this area here, using our spigot as part of our rain garden. And in this particular one, we're also talking about adding some different features. In other words, getting them to dig out some of the earth and giving us a little bit more topography throughout the whole area. And then in this open area here, making that into more of a short grass meadow, so that you get the different plantings based on the sunlight as well as based on height and visual. And part of what we were trying to always keep in mind is when you come out of this wooded area, it's nice to have an open area, so keeping that openness to it, whether we're using wildflowers or grasses to do that. And again, with the same thing, buffering this back area a little bit more, putting some of our benches back along here so that we have the shade for those areas there. That's okay. And again, moving the bench from this location up to the shade tree. So that was kind of the variations that we had on